When young Sheldon first premiered in 2017, it brought with it a fresh perspective on the beloved Big Bang Theory universe. But what audiences didn't realize then, and what even the young cast members couldn't fully comprehend, was that this prequel series would become more than just a television show. For Raegan Revord, who played the whip-smart and sharp-tongued Missy Cooper, it would become a formative experience, a second home, and a creative journey that shaped her youth. Now, with the series having wrapped its final season, Revord is reflecting on what it all meant, both the whirlwind of joining the show and the quieter truths no one saw coming. A role that changed everything. When Raegan Revord auditioned for the role of Missy Cooper, she was just 9 years old. At the time, she had a handful of credits to her name, but nothing quite like what was ahead. She remembers the day vividly, not for the gravity of the moment, but for how ordinary it felt. "I didn't think of it as life-changing," she recently shared in an interview. "It was just another audition, another day. I had no idea I was walking into something that would define my entire childhood." Her portrayal of Missy was instantly magnetic. Sarcastic yet sincere, tough but endearing, Missy wasn't just Sheldon's twin sister. She was her own person, witty, intuitive, and often the emotional compass of the Cooper family. Revord's natural timing and depth gave the character a soul, and fans latched onto her from the very beginning. Still, for the young actress, understanding the magnitude of the role didn't come overnight. The things they didn't know. When the cameras started rolling on Season 1, no one, not the cast, not the crew, not even CBS, could predict the cultural resonance the show would have. Sure, The Big Bang Theory had a massive fan base, but a prequel centered around a child genius growing up in East Texas in the late 80s? That was a gamble. "There was so much we didn't know at the time," Revord said, looking back. "We didn't know how long the show would last. We didn't know if people would connect with it. And we definitely didn't know how much we'd all grow together." What Raegan also didn't anticipate was how close-knit the cast would become. Ian Armitage, who played Sheldon, Montana Jordan as Georgie, and the rest of the ensemble didn't just act like a family. They became one. On-screen chemistry blossomed into off-screen friendships that sustained them through their school years, life changes, and the unique pressures of growing up in Hollywood. But perhaps what she really didn't know was how much Missy Cooper would change her. Growing up with Missy. Missy wasn't just a character Revord played. She was someone she grew up alongside. As seasons passed and scripts matured, so did Raegan's understanding of her role. "There were moments where our storylines overlapped," she said. "When Missy was dealing with puberty, crushes, or figuring out who she was outside of being Sheldon's twin, I was going through the same things in real life. That overlap created a unique emotional experience. It was almost as if the writers were growing with her, intuitively crafting Missy's arc to reflect the girl behind the camera. And it wasn't always easy. There were days when it was hard to separate myself from a role," she admitted. "Missy would go through something heavy, and I'd carry that with me. But I also learned how to use those feelings to turn them into something meaningful on screen." Lessons, legacy, and letting go. Looking back now, Revord sees young Sheldon not just as a job, but as a masterclass in empathy, storytelling, and collaboration. Over 7 seasons, she worked with some of the best in the business, veteran actors, skilled writers, and visionary directors. She learned what it meant to be a professional, a teammate, and most importantly, an artist. "I think the biggest lesson I learned is that acting isn't about pretending. It's about telling the truth through someone else's eyes," she said. As the series came to a close, the emotions were complex. There was sadness, of course. After all, how do you say goodbye to a character who's grown up with you? But there was also gratitude, and even a quiet excitement for what's next. "You don't realize the weight of something until you're at the end of it," Revord reflected. "I think back to that first audition and laugh a little. I had no clue what was coming, but I'm so thankful I got to be part of it." Looking ahead, holding on. Now 17, Raegan Revord is at a crossroads. With young Sheldon behind her, the possibilities are endless. She's already exploring new projects, some in front of the camera, some behind it. There are whispers of directing, of writing, of continuing to create stories that move people. "I want to try everything," she says, beaming. Comedy, drama, voice work. Maybe even stage someday. I just know I love storytelling, and I want to keep doing that in every form I can. Still, no matter where she goes next, Missy Cooper will always be a part of her. I carry her with me, she smiled. She taught me how to be brave, how to speak my mind, and how to be okay with not having all the answers. It's a fitting sentiment for a young woman stepping into a wide-open future, armed with lessons learned on a fictional Texas porch, surrounded by a TV family who helped raise her. Final thoughts. Raegan Revord may not have known at 9 years old just how much young Sheldon would shape her life, but now she looks back with a sense of clarity and calm. What started as just another audition turned into a defining chapter, not just in her career, but in her identity. And maybe that's the beauty of the unknown, that it leaves room for magic to happen. I didn't know much back then, she said softly. But now I know this. I was exactly where I was supposed to be.